What's up, everybody? Gorilla Gang Podcast here. Vanilla Gorilla here. Killer Cam, all that great stuff. Got my man here, the
One Man Gang.
We are the Gorilla Gang Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Once again, bringing another episode. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to YouTube, to our Facebook Lives. Mark here put some music on the YouTube that got a bunch of hits and views.
We need more. We need more.
You know, I said my favorite song, and obviously that's the one that's got the most views so far. I think when I last looked, it was up to 24 in a couple days that it's been posted. But we thank you, we appreciate it. Subscribe to that. We'll put the link in the description when we upload the video. Obviously, you know, me and Mark, we both put it on our Facebook all the time. So I want to thank a lot of people I sent DMs to. A lot of people shared the link to our YouTube channel. I thank them. I think Mandy, Auntie Williams, Noel, and if anybody needs a car, Noel Auto Sales, hit him up. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, whatever, he'll hook you up.
And I actually Noel led me to my car, so
and I've gotten 2 off of them. So big shout out to Noel for sharing our website. And you know, if anybody needs some wheels, I know it's tax season. A lot of people get wheels around tax season. So if you need cars, go to Noel Noel Auto Sales. He also has an app that you can get. But you can look at some of the cars that he has. But yeah, he's definitely a great guy to get a car from.
Yeah, I agree. He's just a good dude all around. Even, you know, regardless of selling the cars.
It's like Puerto Rican me.
That's his nature. He's just a real good, down to earth dude.
Yep, soft spoken, all that. Great. Yeah. So, I will say today is my last day of my staycation. I've been off now for a week, so. I will be, I told him stone colding a couple beers throughout, so, but anyway, so,
I gotta drive in the morning. I get quite stone cold.
He has to drive, so, I have no kids tonight, I'm not working, so, a couple beers and podcasting, but, to start out, we wanted to, I guess, just talk about, this is one of those weeks, you know, Valentine's Day was Friday. I'm sure you were either on one or two sides. You were, I hate this damn holiday and I don't want to hear about it, or what can I do for this holiday? So, yeah, you're on one or two sides here. I happen to be single. Mark happens to be married, so I spent my Valentine's Day with Selena, though. Actually, Selena was my daytime Valentine, but at night I was chilling. So
yeah, you know, I went out and, you know, got a couple things. I didn't, you know, go too crazy, but my wife definitely appreciated what I got her. You know, I actually appreciate what I got her as well. That's how you do Valentine's Day, fellas. You buy something that your wife, your girl's going to appreciate, but make sure it's something you can appreciate as well. Then it's a holiday for everybody. Because sometimes it seems like this holiday, as I was telling you, isn't for men. Or at least the ladies seem like they kind of forget about it.
The men put like
sometimes.
a lot of work into it. I think a lot of times it's one of those holidays. It's not even a holiday. It's just a celebration thing. Right. That you. It's kind of expected almost.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't mind. I like being romantic. You know, I think.
There's nothing wrong with
I remember
chivalry.
Probably the thing when I was married that made my wife, now ex-wife, the happiest was I did like a scavenger hunt around the house, and it led to something. So, you know, I don't mind doing stuff. That stuff is fun and all that. But part of the question and what we wanted to ask is, I think you had one part of the question and I had a different question that we wanted to get into. So,
right, which was pretty much I think the part you came up with was
So,
if you,
yeah, so in my part,
yeah,
if you have an ex, but you have a child with that ex, and the ex is, like younger, don't have a child, don't have any means, do you have a responsibility to buy a gift? And this pertains to her birthdays, Christmas, etc.
right.
Also, do you have a responsibility to make sure that your child provides a gift for that ex?
Right, if they're at the point that they can't, buy it for themselves.
Yeah.
And you know what? Anybody that's live, you can chime in on that as well. I don't particularly think you have a responsibility. I think it's a nice gesture to do, and that also, I guess, would, kind of pertain to what kind of relationship you and the ex have as well.
Right. And like I told you, but I have done that. I've done that. And literally got the gift thrown back saying, I don't want this shit.
Right.
But it's from your daughter. It's
Right.
not from me. So, I mean, not me personally, I have a different experience I've had, like you said, it depends on the ex. Mine is not that type. So it puts me in a weird position that I don't know whether I should or not.
Right. Right. And I think the other part of the question that I had was, ladies, do you see this as just a one-sided holiday or whatever you want to call it, celebration? Do you feel like, well, I don't need to get him anything, or is it just as important to you to get your man, your husband, whatever you want to call him, a gift as well, and to make sure that he's as satisfied, I guess, as you are on this celebration, and anybody who's chiming in, watching on live or anything, or even in the comments, if you're catching this on YouTube, please, respond. We're curious about this. We would like to know what is going on inside of your head and how you feel about that. So,
Right.
please respond to that.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, like, men typically aren't,
Recognize?
No, not that.
Okay.
But I mean, we don't get flowers. We don't. Flowers aren't typically a gift for men, or chocolates, or nobody's gonna. Well, I'm sure there are women that will leave a rose path out, throughout the house, but it's not. It's the exception more than it is the rule.
Right.
So yeah. So we're curious, just posing it. Those two things. Are you responsible for providing gifts if you have an ex and have a child with that ex? And is this more of a holiday for women?
Lori Dawson, yeah, if you heard that
men.
question, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's
if
all
you
right.
heard that question, I'm curious from you, Lori. Is it just a one-sided celebration, Valentine's Day? Is a man just supposed to get the woman something, or is it her responsibility to try to be as satisfying as a man is with the gifts from the female as well to the boyfriend or husband, or do you just think it's a one-sided thing? We're curious to find out what ladies think about that, because it seems like fellas are forgotten, or
Well, I think it's harder to get like a guy. Like, what do you get a guy on Valentine's Day, right?
a
Like
30-pack.
Like, do you just get him a beer and be like, hey, cool? Do you get him a video game? What do you get a guy? Do you,
Here's the thing, in all honesty, whatever the person likes, that's what it should be about anyway. You understand? Like, okay, so let's say with my wife, I've been talking about I needed a razor or something for months. That would be a nice opportunity at Valentine's Day. Hey, here's your Valentine's Day gift. Oh, I needed this. Or, things that, it's really just listening to each other and communication, I think. You know what I mean? Like, what I got my wife was something that she had mentioned.
Right,
you understand what I'm saying? So I held on to that.
Right, those are the best gifts.
But it also fell in line with the holiday, too. So I'm like, okay, this is perfect. You know what I mean? So, it's really just listening to each other, and it's not that hard. You know what I mean? When you don't listen and you kind of do whatever. All right, Lori said mutual thing. Thank you, Lori. That's why we've been friends for years, because I love the way you think.
Right.
You know,
But I just think guys are yeah, you can listen, but it's also harder to provide that romantic type of gift, like women.
I agree.
Well, a cliche. Let me say that the stereotypical Valentines. I think it's a little harder for women to do that, and I don't know that there's a stereotypical gift or whatever you want to call it for men for the holiday. But again, that's just a cliche stereotype thing. Me personally, I think if I wasn't single, it'd take me out to eat, but then I would end up paying for it too, though.
Yeah.
Like even if it was like, oh, I'm taking him to his favorite restaurant, I would still end up paying.
Right.
Unless I was married, you know.
Well, I think you're right as far as something romantic for the man. It is a little harder, but
like you're not gonna buy a man a, well, I'm good at that.
but you know, still, for me personally, any time of the year, any celebration, any holiday or what have you, if you get me something I want, I appreciate that. It doesn't have to be something, you know, it doesn't even have to be anything expensive.
No.
You know what I mean? It could just be to let me know that you're thinking about me. You know what I mean? I appreciate
Or that you pay attention to the relationship. That
Right.
you know, hey, this is what my partner needs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Or this is what's being said. He's said this over and
and I've
over.
mentioned this repeatedly.
Listen, my wife could get me shotgun shells. I'll be excited about that. That's romantic. Darling, you're not watching, but if you were on, shotgun shells are perfect. So, you know, it's just whatever the person likes, I think. You know, at least for the man. For the ladies, you do want to throw in something, I think, romantic as well as something, you know, like I said, if they've been mentioning something, I need this, and I think it works out.
And I'm the same. Yeah, go to Walmart and buy me a brisket, and I'll be happy. You know, throw that thing out on the smoker.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, dudes are, for the most part, from what I understand, are kind of simple. Yeah.
Easy, yeah. And I think I talked about this once before. Well, my ex-wife hated shopping for me. I'm not very good at receiving gifts. And the Millennium Falcon was the only thing that I've ever really asked for.
Right.
And she did get that for me. And actually, I was looking at it last night because I kind of want to buy another one.
Right.
They were like $3.99 for a damn Millennium Falcon. But
Oh, wow.
yeah. But hey, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's the struggle when you collect. You know what I mean? I'm kind of going through that now. I didn't tell you I finished up my Hulk set of the Marvel Legends. I actually completed the set. So
For which Hulk is it?
the Hulk, it's the regular Hulk. It's not the Ragnarok one or
Okay.
anything like that. But I actually completed it. I needed the lady from Black Panther, the little sister, Black Panther, little
Shuri.
sister, and what was essentially what's Iron Man's wife, Penny Potts. Basically,
Pepper
her and
Potts.
Pepper Potts and the Iron Man suit.
Oh, okay.
They call it Rescue though. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So, you know, that was
Yeah,
kind
Selena loves Shuri.
yeah. So, you know, I completed that. But that's just, you know, when you collect things, man, sometimes you go through the last set I got, of course I'm going to start a new set, but the last set I got, the characters are like 34 piece when they regularly run about 16.
Right, yeah.
And
16
some
to
change.
20 or something like that.
Right. So, you know, it's just part of the struggle, man. If you want it,
Right.
sometimes
Yep.
you got to pay the price.
Yeah, I was looking at, you know, I like the Star Wars Black Series, so I was looking at quite a few of those last night. But some of the ones I want, they don't even make. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're looking at them on Amazon.
The third member of our podcast.
So, yeah.
So there was something else that happened this weekend. The dunk contest. And,
Well, it's All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend, yeah. But last night was the dunk contest. Do they do something on Friday still?
They do. They do the celebrity game on Friday. They do the celebrity game and the rookie game.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they did celebrity and rookie. I think like the highlight of the rookie game was Zion bent the backboard stanchion.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
he had a dunk, and they attributed it to the wrong dunk. Trey Jones. Atlanta guy.
Oh my God.
It's Trey something.
Yeah, the rookie or
Yeah.
the second year guy.
He's second year.
Yeah.
So he threw a lob from like half court, like under his leg or something to Zion, and Zion dunked it. But that's not the dunk that bent the rim. Well, he didn't bend the rim. The basketball stanchion. So when they're attached to the floor,
Right.
they move. So he had this really strong two-hand dunk. He dunked it, kind of held onto the rim for a little bit, and it kind of went like this.
Okay.
A little bit.
Got you. Do you know
That was kind of the highlight. He is proving to be
Yeah, he's good.
really good.
He's
Really
good.
good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think he does have to watch injuries. He's had 2 pretty major injuries.
Yeah, and they're attributing that to his weight. And you know, what's funny is, you know, Shaq.
It's not just his weight though.
Okay.
It's his weight and his explosiveness. So if you're jumping and you're landing and you're explosive like that, it's not just your weight. So I mean, it takes a lot to get off the floor like that. And yeah. So I mean, it is a little bit of his weight, but